Because he's on the cutting edge of things.
Oh, then I should talk to him through Tacoma, right? At least
Oh,
there's
yeah.
crossover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're all here.
All here. Hail, hail, the beans all here. Okay. Okay, I'd like to call the January 7th Sumner City Council meeting to order. If you would stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing by the invocation from Pam Osborne. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's pray. Gracious God, as we come to the end of one year and begin a new one, I offer thanks for all that has been good in the last year. And as we move into a new year, I pray for our mayor and our city council to continue to share their wisdom, their compassion, and their love for our community, and to guide the decisions that they make. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Pam.
I feel better now.
Okay, with that, Michelle, would you please call the roll?
Potato? Here. Brown? Here. Hayden?
Here.
Hochstetter? Here. Stewart?
Here.
Peterson?
Here.
Reed?
Present. Okay, we're all here or present. We're now going to move into executive session, which is expected to last no more than 30 minutes. It will be for the purpose of discussing with legal counsel labor negotiations pursuant to RCW 4230-140 and real estate acquisition sale pursuant to RCW 4230-110 and then the meeting will resume immediately after. And with that, we're adjourned into executive session. We're going into that.
sure. Oh, not to ruin your vacation. Didn't you tell me the city you're in? I don't take much.
Never been called.
Either. Sad.
But we have to start balancing our audience.
Everybody's on one side.
On the left or the right? Just depends on which way we're looking, right?
All right.
We could flip over.
There's an unbalanced line. It's called an unbalanced line.
Oh, good.
There we
good job,
go.
good job.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Andy.
yeah.
You don't have to sit with them. Just looks bigger.
I know. Got a full audience now.
We just like sitting up here, not saying anything.
This is getting awkward.
Okay.
Do hand puppets on the screen?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, I'd like to reconvene back into regular session. We do have to make a change in the order of business to properly consider some items, so I would call on the deputy mayor.
I'd like to make a motion, we amend the agenda to move the Teamsters Collective Bargaining Agreement, item E, up to after the alley vacation item, making it item C on the new business, which makes the 2019 compensation schedule become item D, and the 2019-2020 biennial budget amendment will become item E.
There, that was easy. Okay, can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Seconded by Councilmember Hochstetter. All those in favor of the amended agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say nay. And now we have an amended agenda. And we'll now move through and consider the consent agenda. And I would call on Michelle to read that.
Item number 1, approval of the regular council minutes of December 3rd, 2018. Item 2, approval of the 2018 business claims in the amount of $2,876,115.79. Claim voucher numbers 102-430 through 102-559, 102-561 through 102-670, 121 018, 120 218, and 102318. Item 3, ordinance number 2674, parking fees.
Okay, council like to remove any of these items from the consent agenda? Seeing none, could I have a motion to adopt the consent agenda?
Yes, I'd like to make the motion to accept our consent agenda.
It's been moved by Councilmember Hochstetter. Could I get a second?
I'll second that.
Councilmember Potato. She had her hand up. Okay, thank you, Councilmember Potato. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor of the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say nay. The ayes have it. Move on to regular business. There is no unfinished business, so that moves us on to public comment. And Michelle, could you please outline the guidelines for public comment?
This time is reserved for you to address the mayor and the council on matters of city business that are not on the agenda. It should be remembered that we are engaged in the public's business and an appropriate level of decorum should be maintained at all times. Only one person may have the floor at a time. This is a time for the mayor and council to hear from citizens, and it is not the opportunity to engage council members or the mayor in debate. When recognized by the mayor, please go to the podium, state your name and address for the record. You will have 3 minutes to speak. When the timer sounds, please conclude your comments and return to your seat. If you would like to ask a question, it is best to submit it in writing in order that the mayor, council, or staff may have adequate time to research and provide a complete answer.
And we do have somebody that signed up under public comment. I know a gentleman that's having a lot of fun lately, Mr. Matt Perry from Puget Sound Energy. So what's going on, Mr. Perry?
Great. Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. Is this on? My name is Matt Perry. I'm with Puget Sound Energy. I wanted to come in tonight and give you all an update on our storm restoration efforts. You may have experienced some power outages here in the last 36 hours or so. So here's the latest update, hot off the press. Our crews are continuing to work tonight in areas hit by Sunday's damaging windstorm. As of 6 p.m., we restored power to over 311,000 customers and have approximately 18,000 customers still without power. We realize extended power outages during cold weather are frustrating, but know we're doing all we can to quickly and safely restore power. Our restoration efforts will result in many customers continuing to see the lights back on today and tomorrow. However, due to the extensive system damage in some areas of Pierce and King counties, there may be some customers who are to remain without power until midweek. So in Pierce County, we estimate the last customer to be restored at 4 p.m. on January 9th, and obviously we hope to see that timeline bump up as crews continue to work. We have crews that have been brought in from out of state and British Columbia. They're working with our crews side by side. And we're forecasting tonight for temperatures to drop overnight, so we're encouraging customers to take precautions and stay safe. That includes not using charcoal or a gas grill to cook indoors. Never use a natural gas range for heating or charcoal as an indoor heating source. This can cause a buildup of poisonous carbon monoxide gas. If you choose to use a portable home generator, read the manufacturer's instructions for the safe operation of the generator, and do not open generators indoors, rather do not operate generators indoors or in enclosed spaces to avoid the buildup of carbon monoxide. Also, want to point out we are expecting possibly another storm to roll in tomorrow from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., which could bring more winds. So please, even if you've had your power restored, make sure you're prepared for tomorrow. Some good resources for folks to know. Our online outage reporting system is available at pse.com/outage. If you've not done so already, I recommend downloading the MyPSE app. It allows you to track outages and get text messages or emails when your power is restored. And last but not least, safety is always first. Never touch or go within 35 feet of downed power lines because they may be energized. So call PSE at 1-888-225-5773 or more simply 911 to report problems. And that's it. Thank you very much.
Patrick, would you like- yeah, given the great fun we've all been having, allow some latitude. Pat, do you have?
Thank you. I just had a quick question and or comment. So with the advisory and or warning coming up for tomorrow, it's reasonable to expect that there will be more outages or even prolonged from folks that are currently out.
That is a possibility. I haven't seen exactly where they expect it to hit. I will say in 2.5 years at PSE, I've not seen outages in Pierce County like what we've seen in the last 36 hours.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I am hoping that the storm can look elsewhere other than where it's been hitting us here in the last 36 hours.
Thank you.
Okay. Any others? Staff understands is that the city administrator will be probably the last household that will be hooked up.
Those 18,000 go to the first of the list.
He's ROX out there. I mean, he probably can't even find his place to connect to it, so, you know. Matt, thank you very much, and wish the best for your crews, your linemen
Awesome.
that are out there.
Thank you very much.
Okay. That's all who signed up, but it doesn't mean that there aren't all kinds of people out there that wish to address the council on issues not on the agenda. So if you'd like to do so, please come forward.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council. My name is Steve Schulman. I live at 7517 188th Avenue East in Bonnie Lake. I'm here on behalf of the Sumner Bonnie Lake School District tonight to just provide an update from your school district. First off, I want to give an update on sports. Winter sports are in full swing: wrestling, basketball, gymnastics, swim and dive for the boys, drill and cheer. Notes of accomplishment from the fall season: together, Sumner High School and Bonnie Lake High School earned 14 postseason state finishes.
Wow.
All teams maintained above a 3.0 GPA all season.
Hooray.
Daffodil Princess. We congratulate Sumner High School's Daffodil Princess, Lindsay Hatch. Through this opportunity of being a Daffodil Princess, Lindsay says she is most excited to work with young children and inspire them to follow their passions. Next year, Lindsay plans on attending a 4-year university and major in biochemistry, with plans to move on to medical school and become an anesthesiologist. For the Valley construction projects, first off, the Early Learning Center, progress continues on the 2-story building, which is on track to welcome preschool and kindergarten students in the fall of 2019. Second floor framing and roofing has begun and will continue as the weather permits. Mechanical and electrical infrastructure is also underway. For the Sumner Middle School track and field, we have a new 148-seat capacity bleachers that have been installed. Students, sport teams, and the community have enjoyed using the upgraded all-weather track and field since September. And then Sumner High School, at the December 12th board meeting, the school board directed the district administration to form a task force to conduct a thorough and comprehensive review, study, and evaluation of the Sumner High School expansion and modernization project in light of current state and local circumstances, including scope, design, cost, and timeline. The district will soon communicate opportunities for the public to learn more about and engage in this review of the project. Some upcoming events. We've got Pack the Gym for Special Olympics. Sumner High School is on February 4th. We have a chef's dinner February 8th at 6 p.m. at Bonnie Lake High School. There is a cost, $30 for this culinary arts program event. Bonnie Lake High School's award-winning culinary arts students welcome the community to their chef's dinner, which features Salty's executive chef Paolo Cari Di Gregorio. Stay tuned for details on the menu. Pre-purchase tickets by calling Bonnie Lake High School. And finally, we have the District STEM Fair and Arts Show, February 23rd, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. That'll be over at Sumner Middle School. No cost to this event. Community members are invited to this free all-district event. Finish up?
Go ahead and just continue.
It's an all-district event showcasing student science projects and artwork. Hands-on science, technology, engineering, and math activities will be available for all ages at this annual event.
Great. Thank you, Steve. Yeah. No, yeah, Barb. Steve?
So today, a friend of mine said, are there going to be lights at the Sumner Middle School field? Because her grandson played soccer like last month and they couldn't see, the far end of the field. So I said, well, I may find out. So you're probably the one to answer.
Yeah, there are no lights as a part of an agreement with the neighborhood.
Oh, okay.
For the project. It was agreed upon that there would be no lights
okay.
for that field.
All right.
Yep.
Good, but thanks.
Okay. Thank you, Steve. Okay, anybody else like to address the council? Okay. Seeing none, we will move on to new business. First item under new business is Agenda Bill 19-004, which is the deputy mayor selection, and I would call on Mr. John Galley.
Thank you. Before I do that, I just want to thank Matt. Even though I am probably the last person in Pierce County that will get their power on, I really appreciate the work that they're doing out there. Those out in the areas where I live, very difficult situations, and they do a tremendous job. So I just want to pass that on. If any cookies would make any difference, I'll be glad to bake those as well for you. But, all right. Going on to the deputy mayor's position, and my comments here are more for the public than they are for you. The deputy mayor's position on the council is far more than ceremonial. The RCW emphasizes that the deputy mayor is a member of the council who serves in the absence of the mayor, has the power to administer oaths and affirmations, take affidavits, and certify them, as well as sign all conveyances made by the city and all instruments which require the seal of the city. In other words, in the absence of the mayor, this person assumes the responsibilities as well as the potential liabilities of his or her actions as mayor on behalf of the city. From a practical standpoint, it's important that the person chosen is knowledgeable regarding city business and is able and willing to perform the duties of the office. The one power not delegated to the deputy mayor is the authority to hire or fire anyone. So that is designated in RCW. The process as defined by our council rules as well as RCW, the deputy mayor serves at the pleasure of the council for a period of 1 year. The selection is a public process taken by voice vote. There are no secret ballots in this process. Nominations may be received by any council member and no second is needed for that. Once nominations have been received, the presiding officer will ask for a motion to close nominations. This motion must be seconded and passed by a majority of votes. After nominations have been closed, the presiding officer will conduct the vote. In the past, the clerk has called on members of council by name and asked for their vote for deputy mayor. But the important thing here is that there not be any secret ballot, that the voting be open. In the case of a tie, the mayor is a tie-breaking vote. So, any questions? Yes.
I was wondering, see, it's a 1-year term limit. Are there term limits? Or can somebody be nominated?
There is nothing specified by council rules or by RCW on that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Seeing no questions, then our process will be is that, just to repeat what Mr. Gadley went over, is that I'll open the floor to nominations, and then at a certain point, then I'll ask the nominations be closed by motion, which I'll need a second, and then I will request that Michelle do a roll call, in which case you will then state your choice for the deputy mayor amongst the nominee or nominees. Okay. That being, I would open the floor for nominations for deputy mayor. And somebody has to say something. Earl.
I nominate Kathy Hayden.
Okay. Okay, I see no other nominations. Do I get a motion to close the nominations? Mr. Reed?
I move that we close nominations.
I'll second that.
And it's been seconded by Councilmember Peterson. Okay, now I'm going to have a roll call, and if you screw this one up, it looks really bad, okay? Because you have a, yes,
Sorry to interrupt. We need to actually vote on that motion to close nominations.
okay. All those, can we do it just to voice? Okay, all those in favor of closing the nominations, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, please say nay. Okay, now we're back on track? Okay. Okay, Michelle, could you please call the roll?
Peterson?
Hayden.
Brown? Hayden. Reed?
Hayden.
Hayden?
I secretly vote for Hayden.
Hochstetter?
Hayden.
Stewart?
Hayden.
Potato?
Hayden?
Got it all down, Michelle? Yes. Okay, good. I think it was pretty well unanimous. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Again. Okay. We'll now move on to Agenda Bill 19-005, which is ordinance number 2671, alley vacation. And I would call on Deputy Mayor Hayden for a motion.
I move we adopt ordinance number 2671, vacating the public alley located between 642 West Main Street and 638 West Main Street in the city of Sumner, and authorizing the mayor to execute the same in a form as approved by the city attorney.
Wow. Can I get a second to that motion?
Yes, I'd like to second that.
Okay, seconded by Councilmember Hochstetter. And I would call on, get it down at the very bottom. Scott, you're back up.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. Sunset Chevrolet submitted a petition to vacate an alley of about 2,543 square feet located off West Main Street. By vacating this alley, it will allow for Sunset Chevrolet to construct a more efficient parking lot, along with continuous landscape screening and fewer curb cuts. No access, utilities, or circulation will be lost as a result of this vacation. This has been before Council CD Committee in October. The passage of a resolution happened in November, and a public hearing was held in December. And this has also completed all the necessary requirements for noticing and conducting a public hearing. If passed, this ordinance would approve the vacation of the alley, and the process will become finalized upon the applicant's payment of up to half of fair market value based off the appraisal that was submitted. This number comes out to $20,000 for the alley, or broken down to $7.86 per square foot. Staff recommends council approve ordinance 2671 and vacate the alley.
Okay. Thanks, Scott. Questions? Patrick?
I just had a clarification. You had mentioned for a parking lot, is there a designation for that parking lot?
It's as far as
Use.
it will be for staff parking for Sunset Chevrolet.
Thank you.
Okay. Other questions? Council has? Okay. Seeing none, Michelle, would you please call the roll?
Hayden?
Yes.
Hochstetter?
Yes.
Stewart?
Yes.
Potato?
Yes.
Peterson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
And it's passed unanimously. We'll move on to, on the amended agenda, Agenda Bill 19-008, which is the 2019-2020 Teamsters Collective Bargaining Agreement. And I would call on Councilmember Reed for a motion.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that we authorize the mayor to execute the 3-year 2019 through 2021 collective bargaining agreement with Teamsters Local Number 313, substantially in the form approved by the city attorney.
Can I get a second to that motion?
Yes, I'll second
It's been
that.
seconded by Councilmember Hochstetter. Jason?
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Jason Wilson, your Administrative Services Director. I'm pleased tonight to bring forward the 3-year collective bargaining agreement with the Teamsters Local Number 313. As a reminder, the Teamsters represent 27 employees in our utility, streets, parks, cemetery, fleet, and facilities divisions. Overall, we are very pleased with the cooperation and working relationship that we have with the Teamsters Union, and I want to let you know that the membership ratified the proposed collective bargaining agreement on December 20th of 2018. As part of the negotiation process, the city conducted a comprehensive compensation study, including non-salary compensation. This agreement adds an additional classification level of senior operator for shops operator 2 employees that have 10 years experience and all of the certifications required to hold the shop's field supervisor position. The agreement also meets the city's goals of employee cost sharing for health insurance, contracting of crack seal work, expansion of trial periods, and clarification of the use of seasonal employees. The total cost of increased wages and benefits exceeds the biennial budget allocations by approximately $63,000. These budget overages are approximate based on assumed benefit cost increases and are likely not to be fully realized. Actual overages will be determined at the mid-biennial adjustment, and adjustments will be made accordingly. With that, any questions?
Questions of Mr. Wilson? Seeing no questions, Michelle, would you please call the roll?
Hochstetter?
Yes.
Stewart?
Yes.
Potato?
Yes.
Peterson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Hayden?
Yes.
And it passes unanimously. Moving on to Agenda Bill 19-006, which is ordinance number 2672, amending the 2019 compensation schedule. A call on Councilmember Hochstetter for a motion, please.
Yes, I motion that we adopt ordinance 2672, the 2019 compensation schedule amendment.
Can I get a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
Been seconded by Deputy Mayor Hayden. Jason, again.
All right, this is a companion item to the collective bargaining agreement that you just passed. As part of our rules require, we are required to go back in and amend the ordinance that sets the compensation schedule. So the attached ordinance adopts the wages that are in the collective bargaining agreement that you just passed.
Okay. Questions of Mr. Wilson? Okay. Seeing no questions, Michelle, would you please call the roll?
Stewart?
Yes.
Potato?
Yes.
Peterson?
Yes.
Brown?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Hayden?
Yes.
Hochstetter?
Yes.
Yeah, it passes unanimously. Moving on to the next item, which is Agenda Bill 19-007, ordinance number 2673, which is amending the 2019-2020 biennial budget. And I call on Councilmember Peterson for a motion.
I move that we adopt ordinance 2673, amending the 2019-2020 biennial budget.
Can I have a second to that motion?
Yes, I'll second that.
Seconded by Councilmember Hochstetter. Again, call on Jason.
This is also a companion to the collective bargaining agreement. As part of that agreement, the city agreed to fund an unfunded position in the parks and cemetery departments. As a reminder, in the previously approved 2019 and 20 biennial budget, council authorized one operator position that was split evenly between the parks and the cemetery departments. The attached ordinance tonight amends the budget, funding the unfunded portion of that position, creating one new position. The budgetary impact will be in the Parks Department, and it's going to be $128,572.13 over the biennium, which includes a one-time transfer of $30,000 to the Fleet Reserve Fund to purchase an additional vehicle. We anticipate that the cemetery fund should be able to absorb the cost of funding the other half of the position, which is approximately $98,000, by eliminating the seasonal position and using fund balance. If the cemetery revenues are lower than anticipated, the city can address the general fund subsidy at the mid-biennium budget adjustment.
Thank you, Jason. Questions council members have for Mr. Wilson? Seeing no questions, Michelle, would you please call the roll?
Brown?
Yes.
Reed?
Yes.
Hayden?
Yes.
Hochstetter?
Yes.
Stewart?
Yes.
Potato?
Yes.
Brown?
And it passes unanimously. That concludes.
I'm sorry, that was
Yeah.
Peterson.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
Sorry, that's all right.
Should let somebody else vote twice.
I know, it's all right.
Welcome to the new year, Michelle. Okay, I think now we are finished with the new business and move on to reports. Councilmember Hochstetter.
Well, I hope everybody had as great a holiday as I did, and I'm looking forward to this new year, and I hope the wind doesn't blow very hard, so.
Amen
Thank
on that
you.
one. Yeah. Councilmember Peterson.
Well, I had a rude awakening for the windstorm, and not because we were out of power, but because I woke up at 2 a.m. because I left my windows open anyways. But my phone was at 4%, and trees were falling around us, and I realized that we were woefully underprepared for this, and I didn't even realize it was going to happen. Since we don't watch the news or have TV, which I feel like is more and more common, I'm worried about other people not knowing that things are potentially happening right around them. So I downloaded a weather app and set the notifications to remind me in case something else terrible is going to happen. So I just invite everyone else to do that also.
Stay tuned in a couple days.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing tonight.
Prepare now.
Glad I was here.
Prepare now, right.
We have water at least.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
Councilmember Reed.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. My family and I also had a great holiday season and had an opportunity to do a little traveling and go down to San Diego Zoo and some of the other parks down there, and had a really really fun time. As far as the pending possible storm or wind advisory and or warning, something that we're new this year with a trampoline. And I did go out and...
It's a visual.
I heeded the warning on Saturday, and I did go anchor it down, but on Saturday. But then on Sunday, driving to South Prairie and back, there were trampolines all over the place. They were through fences. They were on 162. So if anybody out there has a trampoline that is not anchored down, I highly recommend that.
So you're not going to use the trampoline during the windstorm, no?
No,
Okay.
not this time.
Good. If you do, America's funniest videos. Councilmember Potato.
I just want to say I appreciate the bus service we have to Seattle. Over the weekend, Mark and I went up, and it's just nice. You get on. I mean, all we had to do was walk across the street to the station. 3 or 4 stops, and you're in downtown Seattle, and you don't have to deal with your car. So a few years ago, Carmen arranged for a group of us to kind of learn about the bus system. So this time we used the bus going up and then also some of the buses in Seattle. So I think it's a great asset to our community. Thanks.
Especially now with the big squeeze coming up and stuff. Become even more reliant on that. Councilmember Stewart.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. What I'm about to say doesn't really fall under council discussion, but I just wanted to let you know of some really responsive people in the community. There was a fourplex apartment that burned down early in December. 4 families were displaced. Fortunately, everybody got out safely. I was assigned by my church leader to facilitate coordinating getting needs filled for 3 of the 4 families, which included paying for a temporary stay at the Sumner Motor Inn. There was one family that was housed temporarily at the Holiday Inn Express. But the community rose to the occasion to help these unfortunate people who were awakened at 4:30 in the morning and had to escape fire. In one case, they had to drop a baby from the 2nd floor to someone who caught the baby and a toddler. In another case where one of the girls went back into her bedroom to get her glasses, and the mom didn't know where she was, so she went in to try to get her. And the mom collapsed. The girls came out, and the husband had to drag his wife through the fire. But she escaped without serious injury. This was a very trying time for the families, but I want to really give a great shout out to Art Spar, who was called into action by the current police department chaplain. Art and I communicated off and on for the next 3 weeks to make sure that the motel costs were covered, that they got food, whether it was through the local food bank or other charitable organizations. The Sumner Family Center, staff at Daffodil Elementary, they have a wonderful program there. It's a bilingual program, and I was able to talk to the parents using the children as interpreters. That was just awesome. Sumner Middle School did a fundraiser to help when they eventually found apartments to move to. They had funds available for the deposits. And the high school did a fundraiser as well. So all in all, donations of all kinds from everywhere. It reminded me of the story I heard when I attended a training meeting post-Katrina, Hurricane Katrina, that first of all, incident command is vital in a situation like this. If you don't have someone in charge, either nobody does a nothing, that didn't sound right, nobody does anything, or everybody tries to do something. And it worked perfectly. I didn't want to put myself in the role of an incident commander, but Art and I kind of did that. The other thing is the managing donated goods. Everybody donated clothing, and a lot of it didn't fit, so, or wasn't appropriate, so they weren't thrown away, but they were given to area charities. I want to just really thank citizens in the community that cooperated with this. It went through the whole month of December. They got a lot of Christmas gifts, the families did. They got furniture donated for their new apartments. It was just wonderful to be a part of this saving work. I'm so proud of the community for stepping up. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Councilmember Brown.
I'd like to yield my time to the deputy mayor. I have nothing, thank you.
Boy, Deputy Mayor Hayden, we may have to put a time limit on it, though.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just want to thank my fellow council members for having confidence in me for my third term as deputy mayor. I promise to do my best, and hopefully the mayor won't be gone. But if he is, I'll take over. That's good.
That was it?
That's it. That's it.
Oh, I want my time back.
Yeah. Take your time back.
I don't have any more than that.
Mr. City Administrator, Mr. Galley.
Yeah, just a couple of calendar items that are coming up to remind people of. One is Sumner University is beginning very soon. First tour is February 26th of our wastewater treatment facility, and believe it or not, it's one of the most popular facilities on the tour to visit. It's pretty amazing what they do there. But if you're not signed up for that, please do so. Next date is the Community Summit coming up on March 19th. People will be getting additional information on that as we move forward. And if you want to really look into the future, the Daffodil Parade is April 6th, and the next Shred and Clean is April 27th. Believe it or not, we get a lot of people calling on when these things are occurring. Encourage people to go to our website. We have a calendar there with lots of information, lots of other events that are going on in the community. So, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Mr. Galley. A couple things. One day you're looking at a Bridge Street bridge, and then 3 or 4 days later, it's gone. One thing, the move of the bridge, and there were a few of us that were out there, me included, was absolutely an engineering marvel. Those with us that are engineer type of people were just, it was amazing. To take, I don't know how much that thing weighs. I can't remember. Mike, did you off the top of your head? Carmen? A bunch. Never mind. Okay. Lots. I know it's 90 years old, but it still weighed a lot. Took 11 hours. And big thanks to Public Works, to Berger ABAM, and SB Structures. But if you want to see the move, I know I took one and put it out on Twitter, but the best one is if you go to our website, www.sumnerwa.gov, you can look at the video that was put together by Berger ABAM, time-lapse video that is absolutely incredible. This Thursday is the Puyallup Sumner Chamber of Commerce Rising Star Awards and Economic Forecast, and our own Ryan Windish will be speaking. Thank you, Ryan. But in addition, we have a number of nominations for the Rising Star Awards, and that includes Sumner's Street Tree Nursery, one of those cost-saving things and efficiencies that we have. Metro Animal Services for all the good work they do in multiple jurisdictions. Sherry Dugan for the work she did in the toy box over the years as part of Sumner PD. And last but certainly not least, council member says here, but really Deputy Mayor Kathy Hayden for her work in the schools. with Interact, but especially Early Act. Catching those kids at that age with the value of service and instilling it is the right age to do it. And that will pay off, I think, huge dividends into the future. So they will all be honored. We don't know who will be selected, but that's why we attend those things. Hopefully I'll be there for at least part of it because I'm then have to leave and go to jury duty. But anyway, so it's nice to see some city employees get a little bit of extra appreciation and recognition for their hard work. Anyway, that's it. Welcome to 2019. And with that, this meeting is adjourned.
Cindy.